If you guys want coins for FC24, make sure you check out MMOEXP.com. Their link is down in the description. They're very fast, they're very cheap, they're very reliable, and if you use my code Rema, you can get yourself a lovely 5% discount. So what's up guys, it's Ash here and welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video guys, we have some custom tactics and instructions for one of my top 3 favorite formations in this game, genuinely, the 4-3-3 fifth variation. Now I post a lot of tactics and formations on this channel, but I don't personally like to use a lot of them. It's often due to requests and people wanting to play certain things. You can tell the tactics are good, but we all have different preferences, and in my opinion this is one of the best. I love the 4-3-3 fifth variation, mainly because of that center forward instead of the striker. I feel like you get way more out of them, it's easier to build up, and it's just honestly a beautiful formation to use. So yeah, with all that aside guys, please be sure to drop this a thumbs up, as it does really help me out with the algorithm. Sub to the channel if you are new so you never miss out on any videos, and don't forget to turn on those notifications. And yeah, with all that aside guys, let's get right into the video. Okay then guys, so starting off with the tactics, very similar to a lot of formations, and the reason being, as I've explained many times now, is this game's very linear, very one-dimensional. You pretty much have to play it a certain way, otherwise you're not going to win. That's FC24 for you. It's unfortunate, but it's true. I'm not going to tell you to use drop back if it sucks. I'm just not going to do that. So yeah, for the defensive style guys, balanced. It gives you the best control over your defenders. When you want to press, you can. When you want to drop off and be more passive, you can also do that. I do recommend balanced, as it is by far the most consistent in my opinion. That being said, if you want to use pressure tactics, go right ahead. Now for the defensive width guys, I'd advise somewhere between 40 and 50, as it allows you to defend in a nice narrow and compact shape to block out all those attacks through the middle and stop your opponent having a free pass at goal. The reason we don't go any lower than, let's say, 40 is because it's important to cover the wider areas in case an opponent goes down the wing or they decide to switch the play. You don't want to just give them that free run down the wing. It's really annoying, so you need to cover that space as well. So this is the balance, I would say. For the depth guys, I recommend anywhere from 71 to 60. Now 71 depth gives you that automatic press from the AI, very overpowered, congest the middle area, makes your opponent's life hell trying to attack through the middle. Trust me, it's really annoying. A lot of people like to use this. Me personally though, I don't enjoy it. I like to be more manual in my defense, and this doesn't allow me to do that. So I prefer something like 65, where we've still got that higher defensive line, we just have more control over when we press our opponents. If this is too high for you though, you can lower it to whatever you want. It's down to preference really. There's no correct depth to use. It's all about what you need. Now for the build-up play guys, I would recommend balanced, as I find it to be the most consistent and the most fluent way to build up the play. When you use balanced guys, you can pick and choose between all the different styles you want to use, like slow build-up or fast build-up, all in one essentially. And I also recommend balance regardless of your play style, because these individual settings in my opinion completely suck. Slow build-up doesn't help you build up slowly. It just makes your players move around, like sluggish. Fast build up, they just move around like morons. They're very chaotic, and that's not good either. The only one you can really say is alright is long ball, but you have to really spam long balls for that to be worth it, and I don't really do that all that much. Now for the chance creation guys, direct passing is the way to go, as it's the only way to consistently break through the park the bus defense in FC24. When you use direct passing guys, your attackers will obviously make these runs, defenders follow the attackers making the run, and then once the defender has overcommitted to the run the attacker has made, the attacker tracks back, so then you can cut back to them. So yeah, it's called Cutback FC24 for a reason. It's very boring, but very effective nonetheless. Now for the attacking width, you can pretty much use whatever you want. I just settled on 53, really like it. All you really need to know is the lower the width, the more narrow it is. The higher the width, the wider it is. So I would advise a width between 40 and 60, 40 being more narrow, 60 being wider, just down to whatever you want. I'm not going to tell you specific numbers better than another, because it's down to what you need. Now for the players in the box, I have this on 7, so we can get quite a few players into that penalty area without overcommitting everybody. And then for the corners and the free kicks, we have them both on 2, but again, you can do whatever you want with that. Now quickly running through the player instructions guys, on the striker we have them on stay central and get in behind. We don't really want them drifting out wide. We've already got wingers in this formation, so we want to keep them in the middle where they are of most use to us. We also pop them on getting behind, and I really like this with the centre forward in this position, in this formation, sorry, because as a centre forward they're naturally going to come short and help you out in that way, but when you have them on the getting behind instruction as well, it's also going to force them to make runs, so you seem to get a lot more out of a centre forward than you do a striker in this game. That's just my opinion though. I've really enjoyed using the centre forward in this formation, especially when it's somebody like Kane that naturally does it it well. Now for the right winger and the left winger, guys, we pop them on comeback and defense to ensure that the midfield's nice and compact when we don't have the ball. You know, just make sure we're not leaking sloppy goals down the wing because there's no one there. So I like to have them on comeback so they're more, you know, they're closer to the rest of the team. We also pop them on cut inside as it's an attacking AI movement that I really like. They start their runs out wide and then they will transition into the more narrow areas to help us out there. It's a really good movement. I like it. You guys don't have to use it if you don't want to. We also pop them on getting behind, of course, because we want to get them down the line. We don't want them to be static. Then get into the box across so they don't hesitate in getting into the penalty area. Now for the right centre mid, we use like a box-to-box midfielder, somebody that will attack and defend, basically do a bit of everything. So on this player, we just leave them on the default settings so that they can do what they want. And then cover centre so that they'll primarily cover that middle area to congest the middle. Now for the CDM, of course, a more defensive-minded player. Stay back, cut passing lanes, cover centre. Don't want them going forward if they're the CDM. We want them to be defensive, stay back, bring solidarity and security. Cut passing lanes so they'll always look to intercept those passes and, you know, break up the play. It's made even better if the player has intercept plus, in my opinion. And then once again, cover centre so that they'll primarily cover that middle area as opposed to the wing. Now for the left centre mid, guys, I use like somebody that will attack. I'm kind of torn between an instruction here, but we'll get to it. So we pop them on get forward so that they will join the attack. You know, I like to do this. I still advise somebody that has a high defensive work rate like Bonmati so that they will actually help you out when you lose the ball. But again, not completely necessary. You can just use whoever you want. But I think like an attacking centre mid's great. So get forward so that they will actually help you out. And sometimes I'll pop them on get into the box for cross so that they will always commit into the penalty area. And then other times I'll leave them on balanced crossing runs so it's a bit more balanced. But it's completely down to what you want to do, really. We also pop them again on cover centre so that they will cover the middle, as we already have the wingers coming back to cover the wider areas. Now for the fullbacks, guys, on my right back, my more attacking fullback, we pop them on balanced overlap. Now the reason we do this is because we have the wingers on the cut inside instruction here, so that they will start their runs out wide, like I said, and go into the more narrow areas, which leaves space for this fullback to then go forward and overlap to bring that extra width. So it's really nice because you have a lot of players in the narrow areas, and then you also have a fullback going super wide to overlap and stretch out the opponent's defense at the same time. So I really like this, and I do recommend it because I think it's very important in this game to have a fullback that can do that. For the other fullback, guys, the more defensive-minded one, in my case, Cancelo, we pop them on stay back and overlap. This is so we always have at least 3 defenders back at a time, but when we send them on the run forward, just like the other fullback, they'll add that extra width for us. The reason I kept Cancelo back instead of Walker as well, for example, is because Cancelo has that long ball plus play style. So I'm thinking ahead here. So like Cancelo will stay back, Walker will then push forward, and then if we get the ball over to Cancelo, who's defending, like who's staying back, we can just ping the ball over to Walker's side and he'll make the run. So that's the kind of thing you've got to think about, you know, when you decide which fullbacks you're sending forward and that kind of thing. It's very, very important in my opinion. For the 2 centre-backs, guys, of course, we leave them alone. We don't want to touch them. And then the keeper, we also leave them alone, but you can do comms for crosses and sweeper keeper if you would like. But yeah, guys, they are my tactics and instructions for the 4-3-3-5. If you guys have enjoyed or found this useful, please be sure to drop it a like because it does really, really help me out. Also, sub to the channel if you are new so you never miss out on any videos like this one. And don't forget to turn on those notifications. And yeah, with all that aside, guys, hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace.